pointed out for different options and protections. And I know that with the discussions with the attorneys, and that was whittled down to three great ones that provide a lot of influence for the township and preventative measures as well too. But I would just be more interested as well in having all of that language. I know there was a letter that was included, but even like point by point for all of those, what specifically legal wise, those would not be, those recommendations by Phil would not be able to be included in addition.
We can do that. We've already spent a lot, just so everybody knows, we had one set of attorneys look at this, the recommendations, and we thought maybe we could do a little better as far as making it a little broader, and we had another set of attorneys look at it, they made it broader. And so we think we've gone about as far as we can without, like I said earlier, inviting a lawsuit that would be very questionable, the success of it, so. All right, but I mean, we can talk about this as we go. So who's next?
I'm gonna go next.
Okay, Mary.
My name's Mary Heffron, 5717 Ramsdale, and I'm gonna count myself among the rest of these people that have been talking, but I just want to tell you guys that when you passed that moratorium, you were my heroes. I was so proud of this township. I mean, it's like,
It's
go
okay.
Cannon Township.
And it's okay if you finish right there.
Well, I wanted to say a little something about Pope Francis.
Oh, okay.
Pope Francis acknowledges global warming is going to happen. And I know that most everybody's concerned when you want to pipe this in your backyard and talk about, you know, it might leak, it might contaminate my water. They burn that stuff. I know for a fact it's going to hurt our environment. So I don't want it burned. I don't want it brought out of the earth. I don't want it burned. That's maybe not a local issue. But
It is a local issue, but it's one we're very limited in what we can do about it.
I mean, sure, right. So I guess, I remember a while back, there was an ordinance passed that I think was kind of a roundabout way of keeping windmills out of the township. So if you'll loosen up the moratorium on oil and gas, would you give us a bone and loosen up on the, anything that might harm windmills? That's kind of all I gotta say, is that if there's, you know, if we're backing off a little because we don't want to fight, I, as a citizen of the township, say, no, I'd vote for a fight.
Well, I do too, that's why we're passing these ordinances. I don't understand how you can look at us, which is about, as far as I know, the first in the state that are doing anything with ordinances, how we're backing out.
Well, I merely heard a rumor and saw here where it says, resolution to rescind moratorium.
Right.
And that's about all I know. I'm not as well informed.
Well, and we did talk about that. The thing about the resolution was the legal value of that moratorium is very questionable, right? I mean, because we can't do anything with permitting, right? It was just, we wanted to let them know we're looking at it. And we wanted the oil and gas industry to know that Cannon Township was seriously looking at it. And the moratorium, more likely than not, was not enforceable, because if the state granted a permit, it would come here, and there's nothing we could have done about it. The moratorium was, like I said, just to make them know that we're very serious about it, but it was also put in place so that we could have time to look at these ordinances. Now, I know that one of the resolutions here is to rescind the moratorium, which we're going to talk about, because after talking to Shirley and Brian and the others that were in that room, I'm not sure that that's something that we want to do yet. Okay?
Good. So I'm going to go back to my seat and be quiet, although I'll say that I forgot how pleasant these meetings are. I might have to start coming more
Oh,
often.
I love it if people can. Especially if they have nice things to say.
And heroes, just remember, heroes. Would our time be better spent if you talked a little bit more about the ordinances without us, you know,
Hey, this is public comment. You all came here, you all ought to get a speak.
I'm
We'll get to it, we'll
All
get to
right.
it. Everybody, we're fine.
Thank you.
Sure, who's next? Anybody? No? Come on up.
I have a question. I was reading a while back about this town, I think it was in the state of New York.
New York, okay?
Probably looking up, maybe not, I
I
don't
don't
know.
pay much attention to New York.
But they were definitely against fracking. And I don't know what the state policy is in the state of New York either. I don't know if there's, anti-fracking or what.
Right.
But this town and other people in it decided they were not going to have fracking. And I don't remember, what they did about it, but they won. No, it depends on the state policy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the state law, I mean, darn it, I didn't have time, because Shirley took all my time before the meeting. But I wanted to have a minute to get you all the phone numbers of our state senator, Pete McGregor, and our state representative, Chris Avendulis. In fact, I'd like to give you their cell phones.
It's,
Well, no, we shouldn't do that. Anyway.
No, I was
but
gonna say it's on our website,
Our
but I
website,
haven't updated it
because
since.
one of the things that I would like to leave this meeting with, and by the way, this is just the first step. Again, I'm gonna say that again. We're not going to just do this and we're not gonna wash our hands of this. Everybody needs to understand that. This is an ongoing process. But I would love it if our state legislature would understand that if there is a local issue, which this is, that the best people to deal with it are the people that live in that locality. We know what we're doing, and I guarantee you, this township is better run than the state or the federal government. I just promise you that it is. And, what? Somebody say, it is, yeah. Great. I know. What? It is saying a lot. But no, the point is that, I know that here's the deal though, the state doesn't want us to say, because they're afraid of NIMBYs, not in my backyard, and they're afraid every township would say, don't do it, right? You can't do it, well then nobody would develop. But that's okay, I guess, if that's what each locality wants, then it ought to be up to them to decide who drills and who doesn't.
that's right.
But our state doesn't see it that way. So we're doing what we can here legally.